Shree Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Shree Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighna Upashantaye Gajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadam Tam Upasmahe Gnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasphatiकाकृतिम् Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Hayagrivam Upasmahe Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijanavallabhaya Sarvarogya Pradaya Sri Rukminishaya Te Namaha Vyasaya Vishturupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Vasisthaya Namo Namaha. So we are in the learning, getting instructions from Vidura, though he has given so much of Neethi, moral science, moral instruction, moral behavior, and to make the life as far as possible a smooth run. So they are all gold. They will never fade away, and the value will be always there for that. As we have seen from Mahabharata, there is that Prabhakar Parva. There, Duryodhana was a very virulent fellow, stubborn, never wants to budge. So, but what could the father do? He has to oblige always whatever proposals Duryodhana, his eldest son, brings forward, and it is slowly leading to his own ruin and slow poison. That's what dushtatvam is very dangerous, and that dushtatvam will never have a success at all. So when Sanjaya went for as a Raibari to Dharmaraja, and Dharmaraja sufficiently chided the activities of Duryodhana and the kind of suffering that he has had together with his brothers and mother and wife. Then he chided, how could Dhritarashtra, my uncle, could ask me to go to forest again for 13 years, allowing his cousin brothers to continue enjoying that. It's a stupid idea and very highly selfish, and he has not got minimum neeti in his thing. And so he said, supposing Duryodhana does not budge and Ayabaram does not work out, then there is only war. Because for Kshatriyas, the Dharma is being decided, the Nyayam is being obtained only through war. Therefore, the war is the ultimate alternative when things fail. Therefore, when war idea and Duryodhana, Dharmaraja's ethical message was conveyed by Sanjaya the previous evening, whole night he had no sleep, Dhritarashtra, and he could imagine how devastation could happen to his own dynasty, to his own people, and his throne will be dethroned, and he has to vacate the throne to someone else. So all these fears simply pestered the mind and dropped the sleep of Dhritarashtra. So he immediately asked that Vidura to be brought, and then wants to listen something from him that he can get a little peace of mind temporarily. So accordingly, Vidura came and started talking. And Vidura Neethi is 8 chapters and containing 500 slokas. So in each chapter, there is a judicious distribution of the instructions connected to almost all the aspects of human life, behavior, and ultimately also the goal of human behavior, or human life. The goal of human life is the moksham or emancipation or nirvurti. And in order to educate, in order to qualify for that, Vidura has been covering so many aspects, and Dhritarashtra is there to put questions to him, and Vidura is taking toll and saying all that. So we are in the Viduraneethi 36th chapter, where there is a dialogue between these two people. And in this, I'm to read the 55, 56 slokas of the chapter, and you understand what is that he is going to point out. 55 sloka of Viduraneethi. Navaitesham swadate patyamuktam yogakshemam kalpate kalpate nota tesham भिन्नानां वै मनुजेन्द्र परायणं न विद्यते किंचित् अन्यद्विनाशात् संभाव्यं गोषु संपन्नं संभाव्यं ब्राह्मणे तपः संभाव्यं स्त्रीषु चापल्यं संभाव्यं ज्ञातितो भयम्. So in these two slokas, he says that, see, the advices are being given. See, tesham na vaisvadate pathyam. See, a durmarga, a dushta, a murkha will never listen to any kind of positive instructions. Again, what is that regarding yoga kshemam kalpate no tatesham? So, yoga kshemada ಬಗ್ಗೆ if any kind of a suggestion is given, they never acquire belief and interest in that. And O King Manujendra, so there is no other way out but only suffer and then have total ruin. So bhinnanam vai Manujendra parayanam na vidyate kinchitu anyad vinashayat. Parayanam is the goal. There is no other ultimate goal to such people who will not who don't feel pleasantness when there is something positive, instructive, and helpful, beneficial words are spoken to them, and they are not bothered about the yoga kshemam of themselves, and not only themselves but also of those people who depend upon him, because all people depend upon the king. And how is the king, so are the people. Yatha raja tatha prajaha. If somebody does harm and atrocity and all that, all people will suffer, the entire rajyam will suffer. Yatha raja tatha prajaha. That's why all time we make a prayer, Raja dharmiko astu, and the Raja should be dharmika. If he is not dharmika or nyayabadha, then the state will be under great danger and nasha. Now they are having the current situation as we are seeing, because of the war, so much of deaths, so much of spending of ammunition, so much of destroying the health of the earth also because of those things. All this, so Yuddha is not at all beneficial, and it has got a lot of consequences. Therefore, if Duryodhana were not to listen to the Pathyam that I spoke or you spoke to him, he is harming himself, but at the same time, the other people who depend on that, O king. So, if you ask me what is the goal of such stubborn and foolish people, is ultimately vinashat vina na anyatu na vidyate kinchitu anyat vinashat. So, vinasha is the only alternative goal for all of them. And Also, these are all the possible things among the people. The next mantra, I mean, next sloka, 56, you see that there is this Goshu Sampannam Sambhavyam, Brahmane Tapaha Sambhavyam, Strishu Chapalyam Sambhavyam, Gnatitaha Bhayam Sambhavyam. So, this is the nature of the people. See, these are all Swabhava. So there is milk automatically in the cows. Sambhavyam means it is possible. Milk is possible in all milk animals kind. And tapaha brahmane sambhavyam. It is all possible in a Brahmin tapas. Here, brahmane means brahmavadinaha, vedantinaha, brahmaparaha, brahmanishtaha, veda Vedadhyena Paraha, and all this come under the tapas. Tapas does not mean go to Himalayas and in the cold and in the snow and say stay in the dark cave and meditate and all these things. That is not all that. Tapaha means an exertion that you do with a focused mind, with an objective being kept. So Hiranyakasipu performed tapas such a way that Brahma gave 10% marks of appreciation. So when Brahma came, looked at Hiranyakasipu, highly emaciated, then first of all Brahmadeva made Hiranyakasipu be normal in physical form, and then he asked boon and all those boons. So Ataraha, ಈ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಅಂದರೆ he may be kshatriya, he may be, the caste does not matter, the mind matters. Mana eva karanam. So yeah, when once our mind is oriented towards the Paramatma and trying to understand and do get his pleasure upon all of us, that is what is the sambhavyam. Again, the women, however you try to satisfy them, they are not at all stable in their satisfaction. Trupti anodilla. Chapalata ide, monkey chapalata. That is inconsistency in women. They are not consistent at all. So that's why everybody is experiencing with in the company of women or in having women possessed, like marrying the ladies. The chapalyam is there. They will never be saying contentful. Supposing you go and bring a sari, after making lots of selection of your choice, the moment you bring it, the woman in the house will say, oh, the color I don't like, the texture I don't like, the border I don't like, you go and return. So that's one thing. And again, also, if you take one and you could have brought another color of the another shade of the same saree. So like that, there is always that kind of unsteadiness, non-fixity of mind in the ladies. And the Gnatitaha, brothers who, relations who, they are all selfish. So I mean, they don't like it. So they always are a mark. They are always a mark for the thing. That's why, today we have got our beautiful Subhashitam taken out from Mahabharata in our Nadaveda WhatsApp, where Murkhanam Panditaha Dveshyaha, Daridranam Mahadhanaha, Adharmikanam Dharmishtaha, Virupanam Surupinaha. The Shaivalini, member of this Kendra, has posted a beautiful Subhashitam. See, for all stupid fellows, a learned man is an enemy. For all poor people suffering from poverty, the rich people are sore for them and they don't like the rich people. And those people who are behaving in their own manner, for them, the Dharma instruction is a nuisance. And those people who are ugly to look at, who are very objectionable in behavior and appearance and physique, to them, those people who are rupins, who have got form, who have got beauty, who have got some kind of positivity in them, they're all enemies. So that's again from Mahabharata. And there are so many beautiful Subhashitas in Mahabharata we could learn. Therefore, Mahabharata is a moksha grantha in a sense that the instructions and the subha and the slokas and the talk and the conversations or the dialogues, all of them are having a great deal of instruction. Therefore, so gnatitaha bhayam. So there is always fear from your own brother, from your own sisters, from your own relations, from all the people. So if there are four brothers, the elder brothers might not have become good qualified, highly, or employed in a very positive manner. Supposing the last boy or any other brother is rich in getting better salary, better position, better thing, he will demand, how not you send a portion of your salary every month regularly and every month and regularly, and how not? So, like, no, no, actually, the brothers must become happy, and only when occasion is there, then only they can ask for the help and they will be ready to do it, but not trying to show the authority uh, by the religion that you should do this, you should do this now. So, but if they don't do it, there is enmity picked up by them. Therefore, fear is there. So, we have got so much of in the world, generations together, everybody is experiencing or coming to knowledge of the bhayam that own relatives will kill, own security guards will kill, whom we trust more, ultimately they cheat us. Therefore, my dear Maharaja, what is natural, what is possible in people, you have to mark that. And now in the next sloka, that 57, he is telling, Tantavopi ayata nityam, tantavo bahulaha samaha, bahun bahutvad adaya asan sahantiti upamo satam. So, satam upamaha. So, the relatives are those, actually, if all the small, thin threads were taken together, then the threads of equal length, equal strength, collected together, they will be competent to bear from the strength of numbers the constant rolling of the shuttlecock over them. The case is even so with relatives that are good. So here you have to pick up the friendship with your own relatives. So as an example, Vidura says, Aya, what Dharmaraja requests, you just oblige to him, and whereafter you live along with 105 sons together with their families, and you will be richest person, rather than allowing Duryodhana and his brothers to war with the Pandavas and bring ruin to you and to themselves and suffer shoka extraordinarily. Already you are blind, that is there, but your brother Panduraja is so nice that he made you to sit on the throne, as the parampara tells that you are the eldest born, and he sat in the lower seat and did all the administrative job and saw that everything went by your name. So look at that kind of brother that you enjoyed, and that brother's children are these, and these are also, yeah, as good as their father. So please think of making a kind of unity among the sons or among the brothers and be happy. So here also he says that if all the numerous thin threads, no matter, were to gather together, they become a rope, and that rope can withstand any kind of pressure applied over them. So Aya, Dhritarashtra, Vidura is telling in a very beautiful manner, look at that kind of status that you will be richest fellow if you are to take your opinion positive. Now I am reading the 58th sloka. धूमायन्ते व्यपेतानि ज्वलन्ति सहितानि च धृतराष्ट्रात् उल्मुखानीव धृतराष्ट्र उल्मुखानीव ज्ञातयो भरतर्षभा. So he says that in this, hey Bharatarshabha, hey Dhritarashtra, so Aya, you are bull of the Bharata dynasty. See, Bharata Vamsadali, ನೀನು ಮಹಾಮಹಾ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠನು. ನಿನಗೆ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ಅದೃಷ್ಟ ಭರತವಂಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್, supposing if the strands of the rope are separated, then the status is one. But if all the strands are brought together and lit with fire, that there will be blazing flame, powerful flame. So Dhritarashtra, relatives are like that. See, each relative that you have got is, imagine, rich or poor or strong or weak or whatever, because all people are not the same. That is the important point in the creation. Creationally, everybody is never same. Everybody is independent. Everybody is a style. Everybody is a person. And though the hand is same, but the fingers are not the same of height. So each finger is of different height. That's why even in your own self, there is that kind of division. But if they're all properly connected to the hand and further stem, then it will definitely be lucrative and useful. So all these relations are together, they're okay. Something like, supposing a rope is burning, if you take out the strands of each of the strings, then the strands only produce smoke. But if all the strings are brought together, and then there will be blaze, and it will be a wonderful, powerful flame. See, Ulmukaniva Gnatayaha Bharatarshabha. See, Ulmuka is the blazing fire with high flames, a comet. So, look at it. Sahitani Vyapetani Vyapetani Dhumayante Sahitani Jwalanti cha. So, if all the strands are together, they will produce blaze and also great fire. Supposing the strands of a rope are separated or relations are separated, no, that's exactly how the all other invader story, Bharat, were able to stay in India and rule the land. So, as the Britishers were telling, divide and rule policy. See, unite and rule impossible. So divide and rule. That is, there is a, see, if at all India lost its thing to the foreigners, only because of the people, in aborigines, because of the people of the country. They only went and gave secrets of the kings and all that, and they thought that they will be personally rich. So selfishness has brought the difficulties to the country, to the person. Therefore, here in a beautiful manner, Aya Dhritarashtra Bharatarshabha, if the strands of the rope are separated, then they only produce smoke. Some relations will shout at you and they go away because they have no power. But if all the relatives come in group and pounce on you, it's a problem. So that's why you have to be not very much trusting all your relations. your own children, your own grandchildren, your own people, but make your children to join with the Pandavas, and that way they will be powerful powers to meet out other enemies who can come to that. Therefore, you observe what a beautiful statement is given to. So he addresses two ways: Dhritarashtra, Bharatarshava. There is a lot of message in this. Dhritarashtra meaning that you continue to be on the throne by making this kind of amity between your sons and brothers' sons. And supposing all of them join, they become a strong power to guard your throne and also to protect you. So Bharatarshabha is a kind of kaku intonation saying that you are the best among all people born in the Bharata dynasty. So you just consider you cannot do it. And having said that kind of thing, that divide and rule policy will never make anybody continue on the throne. But you have got to bring the affection, support, voting by your own people. Then you can really continue what you are. That's why you cannot have that kind of disintegration. Integration is good. So you try to win the opinion of all people, and those people who win like that, they will be continuing. That's why in Ajurveda, tomorrow we have got a beautiful talk on Ajurveda, the wisdom from the Ajurveda formulas connected to the elevation of the journey of life or human life. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಎಲಿವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಯಜುರ್ವೇದ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯಜುರ್ವೇದ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಬುಕ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಸ್ಡಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವೇದಿಕ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವೇದ ಸಂಹಿತೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ, ಋಗ್ವೇದ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಯಜುರ್ವೇದ ಇಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, ಸಾಮವೇದ ಇಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್, and Atharva Veda is another chapter. So when all these Vedas are clubbed together, there is a lot of huge mountainous wisdom is there in that. So our mountainous wisdom beku andre, you have to turn to them. That's why Vidura is telling, Aya, onde ನೀವು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. There is admixture. You cannot understand Rigveda without the help of Yajurveda. Or the Samaveda. So understand the Vedic mantras with the help of the Vedic texts is what being told to us when I was a student for research in Pune. My professor, Dr. Shende, understand Rigveda with Rigveda. Understand the Rigveda mantras with the help of other Veda mantras. So ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು, where there is a problem, there is a solution. Normally, there are no problems in problems without solution at all. But the solution makers are wise people. You have to seek them. That's why in Vishnu Sahasranamam, what is that? Vishnu complement ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಭಯಕೃತ್ ಭಯನಾಶನಃ. ಸೊ ಭಯಗಳನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡವನೇ ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು. ಅಂಥ ಭಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋನೇ ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು, ಭಯನಾಶನಃ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಕ್ಷೋಭಣೋ ದೇವ ಶ್ರೀಗರ್ಭ. ಸಿ ಕ್ಷೋಭಣೋ ದೇವ ಶ್ರೀಗರ್ಭ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಸಹಸ್ರನಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಅರ್ಥೇ ವಿನಿಯೋಗತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಮೋಷನ್, hurricane or all that, some kind of tremor and agility will be also there. But unless there is that kind of agility and disturbance or alarm, you will never work to get rid of that alarm. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಭರತರ್ಷಭ, ನೀನು ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಈ ಯೂನಿಟಿಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡು, ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಬೇಡ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು, ನಿನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮನ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಪ್ಪ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮೋಕು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು immense strength ತಗೋಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Now in 59th sloka, he says, Brahmaneshu cha ye suraha, strishu gnātishu goshu cha vruntādiva phalam pakvam dhritarashtra te patanti. And now the 60th sloka tells us that महानप्पि एकजो वृक्षो बलवान् सुप्रतिष्ठितः प्रसह्य एव वातेन शाखाः स्कन्धं विमर्दितुम् ಶಾಖಾಹ ಸ್ಕಂಧಂ ವಿಮರ್ದಿತುಂ. ಈ ಎರಡು ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಥಾಟ್. ಏನು? ಶೂರಾಹ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣೇಶು ಚ, ಸ್ತ್ರೀಷು ಶೂರಾಹ ಚ, ಜ್ಞಾತಿಷು ಶೂರಾಹ ಚ, ಗೋಷು ಶೂರಾಹ ಚ. ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್? ತೇ ಪತಂತಿ pakvam phalam vruntadiva. So they all, hey Dhritarashtra, all these people will fall down like fruits that are ripe from the tree. See, those who are tyrant, those people who are tyrant, who are not at all considering the others over brahmanas, women, relatives, and cows, they all fall off their stalks like fruits that are ripe. ಸೊ ಹಣ್ಣುಗಳ ತರಹ ಅವ್ರು ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಗೌರವ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ atrocity, pain, and cheating, and all these negative things that you apply on them, then what would happen is they all fall down by themselves because their papam becomes completely matured. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರಾವಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಲ್ಲಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಷ್ಣು, ದೇವಾಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ that it should come to a melting point. Similarly, Hiranyakasipu was also a problem. When all gods went and submitted their grief and all that to Narayana, Brahmadeva, in Bhagavatam you get a story. Then Narayana told, just now I cannot take any action. We have to wait. We have to suffer the time until Hiranyakasipu gets a boy. Already he has got 3 sons, hopeless, and 4th boy that is going to be born, he will be the cause for the death of his own father, and he will be able to spread the astikatvam, dharma, and all that. So people, therefore the Narayana tells to wait for the birth of Prahlada. So Prahlada means not only he becomes happier, and he is happy, he gives happiness to his own father, mother, Ilavati, and at the same time to all the people. In fact, you observe in Bhagavatam, what is being said is that I cannot come to Vaikuntham or Swargalokam immediately when gods invited him to come them. No. See, our Narayana, Mahapurusha, Purushottama has only finished my father, one like that only, but there are so many friends of my father who are on the same tempo. So I have to become Samrajyadhipati. I have to mend and change all these people, and then only I will come to higher lokas. Not now. That is what is Prahlada's opinion. And Prahlada's grandson Balichakravarti also in the same manner. But anyway, the fact is that he was not at all selfish. He wanted to go through and bring out a sea change among the people. And in the next 60th sloka, you see, Mahanapi ekajaha vrikshaha balavan supratishtataha prasahya eva vatena shakhaha skandham vimarditum. And in fact, it's a wonderful suggestion. Everybody is proud and they think that they are permanent and they can continue their unruliness for themselves, and nobody can advise them. But whatever they do, that is it. ಆ ತರಹ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Best example he is giving is a tree, Mahan Vrikshaha, a tree with deeply rooted, strong branches and all that. For example, the Salmali Vriksha, its roots are deep down and its trunk is very wide and its branches have spread to a longer distance and innumerable leaves and all that. But in case of a strong wind, then prasakya vatena shakha. In case of strong wind, all the tree can be uprooted. Or these branches can be twisted, and the leaves can be made fall down. So a mighty wind, a strong wind is more powerful even to uproot a strong tree as it thinks by itself. See, ಮಳೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, ಗಾಳಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, all things will fly off. We have a lot of experience. People take it credit to make the world, to make the city cosmopolitan and make more and more traffic improved. The other day we get news in the paper in Bangalore. 150 trees are going to fell down to make way for the metro or anything like that. So much of land is grabbed to make a railway line. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಸಸ್ಯವಾತೇನ ಏವ ವಿಮರ್ದಿತುಂ. ಸೊ ಎ ವಿಂಡ್, ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ವಿಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನಫ್ ಟು ಬ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್. ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ he says that, ಅಯ್ಯ ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ನನಗೆ 100 ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಔಟ್ವಿಟ್ ದಿ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ 5 ಪಾಂಡವಾಸ್. ಆ ಕಡೆ 5 ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ 100 ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ತರಹ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಳಾಗಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ನೀನು ಉದ್ಧಾರವಾಗಬೇಕು, ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡು, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸೇರಿಸು ಅಂತ. ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೇ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್, bringing the parallels in the nature, a tree and the firebrand, all these things are like that. So be careful. I have got only a minute and odd. So reading one sloka, I will complete. And we only wait for the time when it is going to be 40, say 60 minutes or some like that. And but anyway, 40 minutes is the time given for this. And we'll continue next week, hopefully. That from this, that's why, because of this 40 minutes duration, we are not able to make much progress, but it's going on a snail way, snail progress. స్నేహి నత్తలాగా నడుస్తుంది మన విదురనీతి, అంతే పుణ్యము. సో ఐ స్టాప్ హియర్. ఓం స్వస్తి. సర్వం శ్రీకృష్ణార్పణమస్తు. సర్వం శ్రీ మాతృచరణారవిందార్పణమస్తు. ఓం తత్సతు. సహనావతు సహనౌ భునక్తు సహ వీర్యంకరవావహై తేజస్వినావధీతమస్తు మా విద్విషావహై. ఓం శా